Bueno, vamos a darle que quiere jugar con los panas. Mm, Nos quedamos en. After scanning Mr. Luzin's unceremoniously, Raskolnikov smiled malignantly, sank back on the pillow, and stared at the ceiling as before. But Mr. Luzin hardened his heart and seemed to determine to take notice of their oddities. I feel the greatest regret at finding you in this situation, he began, again breaking the silence with an effort. If I had been aware of your illness, I should have come earlier. But you know what business is. I have to. I have to. A very important legal affair in the Senate, not to mention other preoccupations which you may well conjecture. No sé qué es eso. Conjecture.
Conjecture.
An opinion or a conclusion formed on the basis of incomplete information. It's a good word to know. Anyways, I am expecting your mama and your sister any minute. Raskolnikov made a movement and seemed about to speak his face. Oh, sorry. Seemed to about to speak. His face showed some excitement. Peter Petrovich paused, waited, but as nothing followed, he went on. Any minute, I have found a lodging for them on their arrival. Where? Asked Raskolnikov weakly. Very near here, in Bakaleyev's house. That's in Voskresensky. Put, put in Razumin. There are 2 stories of rooms, let by a merchant called Yushin. I've been there. Yes, rooms. A disgusting place, filthy, stinking, and what's more doubtful of character. Things have happened there, and there are all sorts of queer people living there. No one there about a scandalous business. It's cheap, though. I could not, of course, find out so much about it, for I am a stranger in Petersburg myself. Peter Petrovich replied huffily. However, the 2 rooms are exceedingly clean, and as it is for so short a time, I have already taken a permanent, that is, our future flat, he said, addressing Raskolnikov. And I am having it done up. And meanwhile, I am myself cramped up for a room in a lodging with my friend, Andrei Semyonovich Lebisyat Lebizyatinikov, in the flat of Madame Lipevichel. Bro, these names are eating me up, bro. Goddamn. It was he who told me of Bakaleyev's house, too. Lebizyanikov? Said Raskolnikov slowly, as if recalling something. Yes, Andrei Semyonovich Lebizyanikov, a clerk in the ministry. Do you know him? Yes, no, Raskolnikov answered. Excuse me, I fancied so from your inquiry. I was once his guardian, a very nice young man, and advanced. I like to meet young people. One learns new things from them. Luzine looked around hopefully at them all. How do you mean? Asked Razumin. In the most serious and essential matters, Peter Petrovich replied, as though delighted at the question. You see, it's 10 years since I visited Petersburg. All the novelties, reforms, ideas have reached us in the provinces. But to see it all more clearly, one must be Petersburg. And it's my notion that you observe and learn most by watching the younger generation. And I confess, I'm delighted. At what? Your question is a wide one. I might be mistaken, but I fancy, find clever views, more, so to say, criticism, more practically. That's true, Sosimov let drop. Nonsense. There's no practicality, Rezumi flew at him. Practicality is a difficult thing to find. It does not drop down from heaven. And for the last 200 years, we have been divorced from all practical life. Ideas, if you like, are fermenting, he said to Peter Petrovich, and desire for good exists, though it is in a childish form. And honestly, you may find, although there are crowds of brigands, supongo que son brigadas, pero no sé cómo pronunciarlo, así que vamos a buscar.
Brigand.
Brigand. Brigands. Crowds of brigands. Anyway, there are no practicality. Practicality goes well shod. I mean, I can tell what it means by context, but I've never heard shod before. Okay. I don't agree with you, Peter Petrovich replied, with evident enjoyment. Of course, people do get carried away and make mistakes, but one must have indulgence. Those mistakes are merely evidence of enthusiasm for the cause and of abnormal external environment. If little has been done, the time has been but short. But short of means, I will not speak. It is my personal view, if you care to know, that something has been accomplished already. New valuable ideas, new valuable works are circulating in the place of our old, dreamy, and romantic authors. Literature is taking a mature form. Many injurious prejudices have been rooted up and turned into ridicule. In a word, we have cut ourselves off irrevocably from the past, and that, to my thinking, is a great thing. He's learned it by heart to show off. Raskolnikov pronounced suddenly. What? Asked Peter Petrovich, not catching his word, but he received no reply. That's all true, Zosimov hastened to interpose. Isn't it so? Peter Petrovich went on, glancing affably at Zosimov. You must admit, he went on, addressing Razumin with a shade of triumph and superciliousness. Or if it's past a certain amount of vocals, or not vocals, is it vocals? Syllables, sorry. I'm gonna look it up.
Supercilious.
Supercilious. Behaving or looking as though one thinks one is superior to supercilious. Okay. Supercilious. He almost added young man. That there is an advance, or as they say now, progress in the name of science and economic truth. A commonplace. No, not a commonplace. Ithero, for instance.
Hitherto.
Hitherto. For instance, if I were told, love thy neighbor, What came of it? Peter Petrovitch went on, perhaps with excessive haste. Came to my tearing my coat in a half to share with my neighbor, and we both were left half naked. As a Russian proverb has it, catch several hares and you won't catch one. Science now tells us love yourself before all men, for everything in the world rests on self interest. You love yourself and manage your own affairs properly, and your coat remains whole. Economic truth adds that the better private affairs are organized in society, the more whole coats, so to say, are firmer are its foundations. The firmer are its foundations, and the better is the common welfare organized too. Therefore, in acquiring wealth solely and exclusively for myself, I am acquiring, so to speak, for all, and helping to bring to pass my neighbor's getting a little more than a torn coat. And that not from private, personal liberality, but as a consequence of the general advance. The idea is simple, but unhappily it has been a long time reaching us, being hindered by idealism and sentimentality. And yet, it would seem to want very little wit to perceive it. Excuse me, I have very little wit myself. Resume cut in sharply. And so let us drop it. I began this discussion with an object, but I've grown so sick during the last 3 years of this chattering to amuse oneself, of this incessant flow of commonplaces, always the same, that, by Jove, I blush even when other people talk like that. You're in a hurry, no doubt, to exhibit your accomplishments, and I don't blame you. That's quite pardonable. I only wanted to find out what sort of man you are, for so many unscrupulous people have got hold of the progressive cause of the late and have so distorted in their own interest everything they touched that the whole cause has been dragged in the mire. That's enough. I think that is enough. I'll just leave it there.